Welcome back to the Nomad Network YouTube channel. So in this video tonight, I'm going through some Reddit questions about Somaliland, mainly Hargeisa, and share my thoughts. Because it seems like a lot of people are curious about what life is really like here, and there are some common misconceptions out there. So we're going to dive into what Reddit users are asking, and I'll give you my honest perspectives from being on the ground. Shall we begin? I think so. Alright, so the first question says, what to do in Somaliland? I'm going back to Somaliland in June, first time since 2012. I was a kid. I'm so excited to see the changes. I'm from Bur'o/Seoul, but we built a house in Hargeisa recently. So I'm mostly staying there, and I was hoping y'all could help me. So he goes on asking those 4 questions. Where can I rent a car and what's the prices? What activity is there to do? How is it to drive on the roads from between Odol to Tugdal? And last question is, would I, as a European driver of 2 years, actively have a hard time driving here? Thanks in advance. All right, that's the first question. The second question is how to learn Afwaqui as an English speaker. I'm trying to learn, but most of the resources I find online focus on the southern dialect. Since English is my first language, I'm looking for any resources, books, videos, apps, or websites that specifically teach only the northern Somali dialect. Anyone know of any good materials or tips for learning? Alright, that was the second question. The third question is looking for diasporas in Hargeisa. I've been in Hargeisa for a couple weeks now and have made like around 5 friends, all people in the same boat as me, staying here for holiday. But I'm looking to find more people to kick back with, as I'm very bored in Hargeisa, not much to do, and also want to find where all the diaspora girls are at. Cool. That's the third question. The fourth question is travel. Assalamu alaikum, all planning to a trip to Somaliland, Hargeisa, and Berbera at the end of the year, inshallah. I was wondering what the average price of stuff are, for example, travel, food, shopping, etc. Any advice and response is appreciated. Jazakallah khair. Alright, and those were the 4 questions we're going to be covering. And now let's start with my answers. As for the first question, where can I rent a car and how much would it cost? I mean, you can literally find any car rental places. I think there's one that's called Modern Car Rental. Just check out Google Maps and you probably find it there at the prices. So it starts from $20 for a regular car, and then it just goes up depending on what kind of car it is. Yeah, so like 20. I think no, it's 25. My bad. It's actually, so it starts from 25. It goes up depending on what kind of car you're trying to rent. But yeah, it starts at $25 a day. All right. Now the second question you asked was, what activity is there to do? Well, there's a lot of things you could do in Hargeisa. There's a lot of things. You can go to Las Gale. You can go to, there's a lot of new spots now, a lot of new restaurants, coffee shops, gaming places. There's a lot of things to do, man. All right. So what about the roads between Odol and Tugdal? The roads between Odol and Tugdal is pretty smooth. The roads have been built. It's a really nice, smooth experience driving from Odol to Bur'o. Really smooth. And yeah, you wouldn't have any problems if you've been a driver in Europe for 2 years. You wouldn't have any problems. You just have to be a little bit patient with the animals crossing and people crossing, but other than that, it's pretty smooth. All right, so the second question was how to learn Afwaqui as an English speaker. I think first of all, you gotta just talk to people in Hargeisa, since you're gonna be in Hargeisa regardless. I don't know if you're gonna be in Hargeisa, but find content creators that are from Hargeisa and then just follow their YouTube channel and just watch their content, right? And because from there you can literally just listen to them all day and learn how they speak on camera and learn how they speak. I think that's the best thing you can do. That's my best advice. All right, the third question was looking for diasporas in Hargeisa. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of diasporas, but they all are all over the place. I don't think there's one specific place that everybody comes to, right? But most of them like to hang out at like these fancy like coffee shops, fancy restaurants like Damal, La Scale, um, you know, Aro Edik, and also at night, a lot of them like to go to Berti Libahda, right? So that's where you find the guys, the people from Qurbaha. All right, so traveling. What was the last thing? The last question was planning to do a trip to Somalia, Hargeisa, and Beberetz at the end of the year. So what are the average price of stuff, food stuff? Yeah, I mean it depends. I mean depends where you're getting it from. Depends where you're buying it from. But if you're buying it from supermarket, like everyone, that's where everybody gets their stuff from. People that like to travel. I don't know. Like it's regular. It's like you. It's like the same prices as anywhere else, like the UK or America. Um, the taxi ride starts from $1 to whatever, like $1 to whatever, depending on how far you're going, right? But it starts, the lowest is $1 minimum. And yeah, like a food shopping, I think you can manage really well. It's not that too expensive, to be honest. I mean, you could probably spend $10 at most if you go into these if you go to one of these fancy restaurants in the city. But if you're trying to save money, then but you can just go to these little, these little restaurants and pay like $2 or $1 for a meal. All right, so there we go. There you have it. Thank you guys for listening. And if you're new here, please subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Assalamu alaikum.